What's up, heroes? Welcome to another edition of Book Club. This month we are reading The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. And if you remember, that equation is unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles. We're diving into the book this week. So we're going through chapters 3 through 6, basically moving from limited to unlimited. So I'm going to go through this really quickly so we have time to get to our discussion. The big question, are you allowing others' beliefs to limit you? Are you allowing the other people around you to label you or to keep you in a place when you can do a lot more? One of the focuses of chapter 3 is talking about deep work. And we've talked about this a lot on Morning Hero. That is focusing your energy on a single objective, not multitasking, for an extended period of time. One of the things in this section that Hal talks about that's so powerful is the 5-minute rule. And I want to see if you buy this one. So the way the 5-minute rule works is when you get bad news, when you get fired or you lose a client, or, in Hal's case, when he got into a head-on collision and woke up in the hospital and was told that was it. He was going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Here's what you do. You set a 5-minute timer and you use that time to bitch, moan, complain, throw things, punch the wall, whatever you can do to just vent and get it all out. But then when the timer's done, you're done and you cut it and you move on. And the second part is you go to the can't change it mantra. So once your 5 minutes is up, you cut it and you literally say out loud, can't change it. In fact, Hal talks about a woman who even got the mantra tattooed on her wrist to remind her. And then the third part of this is to then move this future looking to where even when things haven't happened yet, but you have this mantra so much in your heart of can't change it, that when stuff happens, you let it roll off your back because you know you can't change it. So you get stuck in traffic or whatever bad thing happens. Anything, as Hal puts it, anything that has happened at this point or before, you can't change it. It's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. So being upset, being emotional does you no good. And he says, basically the place he got so used to doing this mantra that he could actually get over stuff even faster than 5 minutes. He didn't need the 5 minutes because he could just move on to acceptance. He talks in the next chapter about the power of singularity. That is, what is your one goal? So, for example, in the Morning Hero coaching calls, we talk about people having a business goal, a relationship goal, and then some other kind of life goal, whether it's faith, family, something like that. But there's always going to be one goal that enables all the others. So maybe your family, like Jarvis likes to talk about, his family is his focus. And when he puts family first, that drives him to take care of his business goals and his health goals because they are all to support his family. For me, I go the opposite way. My goal is to make $550,000 this year so that I can take care of my family the way they want. So whenever I think of my family, it drives me back to my business goal because I know that's what I want to do to support all those other things. He also brings up a really good question. What would you do with your goals if you knew you couldn't lose? And the way he phrases that is basically with any goal, you're either going to win, you're going to achieve your goal, or you're going to grow. If you knew you couldn't lose, how much bigger would your goals be? So the worst that happens, let's say you fail at your goal, but you work until the last minute, you still grew. So for me, it used to be cold calls. And my goal when I started was even doing 5 calls a day. But even if I didn't get those 5 calls done, if I did 3 calls that day and I didn't hit my goal, that was still better because it was conditioning to me. And now I can do 30, 40, 50 calls a day. So you either win or grow. Next, he talks about carrying on a safety net for your mission. So you figure out what that one thing is, and then you break it down. And we talked about this last month in 12-week year, or 2 months ago. You establish monthly missions, or in the case of 12-week year, 3-month missions. And by being laser focused on that smaller chunk, you're going to get more done in a month than most people do in 12 months because you're focused. The second thing he talks about, and this is so crucial, is that you engineer your environment. Is there anything around you that interferes with your number one priority? So if you are wanting to lose weight and you look around you, I had a friend named Nancy who she used to keep bowls of M&Ms all over her apartment. just literally bowls and bowls of M&Ms. Do you think Nancy lost any weight? Of course not, because it was right there. So if you're trying to lose weight, do you have your house full of snacks? Instead of starving yourself, give yourself permission. Say, hey, if I crave ice cream, I'll go out and get ice cream, but I'm not going to stock it in the house. And you know what? There will be so many times this happens to me and my wife where you're tired and you're like, screw it. I know I could go get ice cream, but I'm just too tired. I'm not going to go do it. So what does your environment look like? If you're at work and you're supposed to be focusing, like for me on my cold calls, is my cell phone out at my desk so I'm distracted by text messaging? Is my email open on my computer so I'm distracted by that ding? Is your environment set up to keep redirecting you? In other words, have you pushed away all the distractions? And then establish a resource for accountability. And Hal is very specific. Don't use family or friends because they will go too easy on you. That's one of the big things we do on these morning phone calls is we challenge each other, not just the coaches, but the people in the groups challenge each other. I've got a couple people in one of the calls that they challenge each other. One challenges the person to drink more water, and then the other challenges him to do more phone calls. So we all keep each other accountable, and we don't put up with each other's excuses. In fact, Crystal, one of the ladies on the phone call, called me on my bullshit and said, hey, Rick, I know you have a baby. You don't have time to work out, but you can do 5 push-ups. You literally have time to do 5 push-ups. And I would not have done those 5 push-ups, but I have that accountability. So whether it's a coach or a partner that you team up with, or some kind of group that you get on with, that accountability, especially if you have at least a weekly check-in, is crucial. And then finally, be on the lookout for your miracle mentor. Be on the lookout for the person who has already excelled and achieved in what you want to do, because they're going to show you the steps to get there. If somebody else has done it, as Hal says, then you can do it too, and you deserve to do it, and you deserve to have that success. All right, so with that out of the way, quick discussion questions, and I'll throw it over to the coaches. Hal was told he'd be wheelchair bound for life. What is your wheelchair? What is that thing that is binding you that you need to overcome? Number 2, have you ever given up on a big goal because you were so far behind? Did you, have an end of the year goal for your earnings, and then you got close there and you said, I'm still 100,000 away. You know what? I'm just going to stop. Well, how would that change if you went back and applied that attitude of you can't lose? You did like Hal did with Cutco, where he kept doing his phone calls and appointments till midnight of the day that it was due. What would your success look like? What would your life look like? And then last, do you think the 5-minute rule is realistic? And we accept all answers. Maybe you think that that's bullcrap, that you can't work through something in 5 minutes. And what about this idea of you can't change it, that you cut it and you're done? So go ahead, and if you're in a group, take some time to discuss it. If you're not in a group, we welcome you to send some of your comments to us, and we will talk to you next time. All right, see you later. This is Coach Rick signing off.